What's up guys, back at it again today with something special. Today we'll be checking out the HexGaming Ultimate Controller for the PlayStation 5. Described in the box as a tactical gaming controller designed for esports, HexGaming takes official controllers and then heavily modifies them to create their premium custom controllers. You may have seen us check out the Xbox controllers on our channel before. With that being said, let's get into it. Each one of these controllers comes packed really nicely. The first thing we'll do is check out the controller itself. So it also has these attachment side rail things. Also, there's two of those, and then there's these thumbsticks in the side of the box. Here is the controller themselves. We'll have to find the thumbsticks inside the box themselves to pop those things on there, but I just love the way this controller went out. You can customize pretty much everything about these controllers on their website. I went with this clear blue color scheme here, but you can do pretty much anything. So our thumbsticks are inside the box here. They are labeled on the box to find your thumbsticks inside here. I had a little bit of trouble sliding them out, although we have opened a couple of these on the channel before. I don't know what the problem was. And here they are. These are some of the best thumbsticks I've used on any controller. We got them in two little boxes here. The regular ones look super good on the controller with those little blue accents. We'll have to test them out here. The second half of the video I will do after testing out the controller for a few days before giving my full review. Man, these clicky buttons feel really good. The 8-in-1 thumbsticks work super simply. They pop on and off. Here's a quick look at what you get inside the box. You get a couple tall boys, a couple fat boys, and the originals themselves. I really like how this clear blue color scheme went. I kind of went with like a PlayStation vibe here. I also went with the three-piece colored buttons that we'll check out a little bit later in the video. All you have to do to change out your thumbsticks for your specific game is pop one off and pop them on. There is no magnet or anything holding these things down, but whatever they did for the engineering with the grooves here feels really good, and they don't feel loose in any way. I thought they might when I first checked out HexGaming's controllers, but honestly everything with these controllers feels super premium and well built out. Full disclosure here, HexGaming does send me these controllers to test out for my videos, and I want to send out a big thank you to them, but I will always be super honest with any of my opinions when it comes to these things, because I really don't see any point in misleading you guys just to make a few bucks on affiliate sales, and then you guys come back to me later and tell me that the thing wasn't as good as I said it was. Sometimes I mess up a little bit here getting the thumbsticks on, but overall it's super easy, and you can even switch them out mid-game if you have to. They also come with these attachment side rails here. I won't be using these. For the most part, I'm going to use my PlayStation 5 controller on Steam. There's a bunch of really cool options over there. You do get a 6-month warranty with your controller, although you do have to do something on social media, with which I'm not the biggest fan of. So let's get rid of that here. I really love how this clear blue plastic feels. We've used the clear blue plastic on some controllers before, so I really don't want to get too risky with some of the materials, but they have so many different options. On the back of the controller, you will find those K1, K2, K3, and K4 remappable buttons. We also went with that grip here, this plastic grip that we used on the Xbox controllers themselves, and honestly, I will never go back to regular controllers again when it comes to the grip. It makes it feel like more of a tool rather than a toy. You might hear me say that a couple times in this video. We'll check out the thumbsticks themselves. Pretty cool. I really like the blue accent rings. Like I said before, you can customize pretty much everything about these controllers. We'll check out their builder here in a second. Let me know maybe down in the comments what kind of color scheme you would have went with. Let's get this thing plugged into the computer and test it out. So the first thing I want to do here is take a quick look at HexGaming's controller builder. Here is the clear plastic I went with, but you can go with just about anything. I also was going to go with some super clear. You can make it just as ugly as you want. They also have some pre-built controllers if you didn't feel like going through the trouble of using the builder there. Okay, so now that I've had this thing for a few days now to test out, I want to go over the controller as a whole and talk about the things that I liked about this controller and the things that I didn't like so much. The first thing I want to talk about is the K1 and K2 buttons and the remapping feature here. This is super easy to use. You just hold down the remapping button click the button you want to remap the new button to, as well as that button, hold it down and it'll stop blinking. Super easy like the rest of their controllers. The K1 and K2 buttons specifically are just so satisfying to click and really useful for a variety of situations in gaming. The K3 and the K4 buttons, although they can be useful as well, are super hard to reach with my middle finger, which is what normally would try to click those buttons. I mean, I can click back and forth, but the idea here is to remap front buttons to the back to keep your thumbs on the sticks as much as possible. Let's move on to the top buttons here. I got them in this clear plastic again. They come in different materials and colors, so I can only testify to these ones that feel super good. We also went with the clear plastic on the Xbox controllers that we've tested out before, so I probably should have switched it up to test something else. Maybe next time we'll test it out. We can go with the chrome I think they have and different options like that. But this specifically was a controller that I was trying to personally customized for my own gaming use, because I will be using this thing every single day now. We've had this for 3 days now, and for the majority of the time I was playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on my Steam account. There's a bunch of cool options when it comes to using this controller, including the ability to change the LED colors right on Steam. I thought that was pretty cool. So let's move on to, I guess, the side rails here, and that rubberized texture on the back is actually what I want to talk about. When it comes to the rubberized texture, the first time we experimented with this was on the Xbox controllers, and now that I've used a rubberized texture for the back panels here, I really don't think I'll ever go back. It makes me feel like I'm holding a tool more than a controller at times, although if you're more of the sweaty gamer, you might want to leave this to a clear plastic to help you breathe a little bit more. The next thing we'll talk about is the 8-in-1 thumbsticks, which are just a treat to use and customize. The 8-in-1 thumbsticks, we were first introduced on the Xbox HexGaming controller that we were reviewing before. For the controller thumbsticks here, when it comes to using it on different games, it's just so much fun to use different setups for different games. And it almost feels silly that we didn't have this option before on regular controllers. Moving on to the D-pad, sorry I am stuck with Nintendo lingo. They feel super good. They kind of remind me of old school PS1 controllers with that clear plastic over the colorized buttons here. We use the custom ones. There's all sorts of different colors on the channel. The cross, the triangle, the square, and the circle all have their own little custom design there. So overall, I don't know what else there is to say about this controller, although I do get caught up on my words sometimes. Maybe that has to do with the awesomeness of this controller overall. Let me know down in the comments what other controllers you want to see me test out. As always, I left a link down in the description to everything we talked about in this video. And if you don't like this video, hit that dislike. I will see it. I am not a big fan of the fact they got rid of that dislike buttons on a short tangent. Bring back the dislike button. Thumbs up or thumbs down.